Marvel rumor suggests Hugh Jackman will stay as Wolverine in the MCU for another 10 years. What? Come on. Really? Rumors are currently swirling that Hugh Jackman will stay as Wolverine in the MCU for another decade. However, this rumor that WDW Pro and that Park Place have been reporting for almost 3 years. Hugh Jackman's return as Wolverine in Deadpool and Wolverine sent shockwaves through Hollywood, proving once again that some roles are just too iconic to retire. The film, Marvel Studios' first R-rated blockbuster, shattered expectations by grossing over $1.3 billion at the global box office. While Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool deserves credit, it was Jackman's take on the beloved X-Man that truly ignited fan interest. Now, rumors suggest that Jackman may wield Logan's claws for another decade, and fans are buzzing. This coming from insider My Time to Shine Hello recently reported that the Australian actor isn't ready to hang up his adamantium claws anytime soon. The scooper claims Jackman has plans to continue as Wolverine for at least 10 more years, a timeline that could cement him as the longest tenured superhero actor in Hollywood history. Interestingly, the rumor of Jackman's multi-year deal with Marvel is not new. Hollywood scooper WDW Pro of that Park Place has been citing inside Hollywood sources as far back as 2022, claiming that Jackman had committed to a major role in the MCU's future. All of this aligns with reports that Marvel Studios is exploring a Deadpool and Wolverine trilogy following the first film's record-breaking success. Jackman, who's 56, continues to defy expectations, looking and performing as if he's a decade younger. His enthusiasm for joining the MCU seems boundless, with whispers of projects like Hulk vs. Wolverine and possible appearances in Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars. These tantalizing prospects could bring in billions more at the box office, while allowing Jackman to put his definitive stamp on Wolverine as the MCU introduces more mutant characters. Okay. I've said this many, many, many times. They need to move on from him. Look, Hugh Jackman was great as Wolverine. For as long as he's been Wolverine, he's been great. And Deadpool and Wolverine was a fun movie. It was exciting. It was great to see the two of them together on screen. To get Hugh Jackman in the yellow and blue costume was fantastic. And honestly, I wouldn't mind one more movie to see him alongside the Avengers, alongside something in that form, that capacity in some way. I would be perfectly happy with that. But here's the thing. He's 56 years old. And I know people are going to sit there and say, well, there's stunt doubles, there's this, there's that. And I get it. I understand that. Okay. But here's the thing. You need to get a younger cast. You need to, first off, I want to see a new portrayal. I'm the kind of person, I'm sorry, I don't want to see the same person playing the same role over and over. Maybe it's because I grew up watching James Bonds constantly when I was growing up. Maybe this is where it's coming from. Now, obviously, I didn't watch them when they were first coming out. I'm not that old. But I was a kid and I loved the James Bond series. So I would watch them on like Turner Classic Movies, and I would rent them from video stores, and I would watch them all. And, I would see Sean Connery, Timothy Dalton, Roger Moore, and Pierce Brosnan. And I would see the different Bonds, and I would see the different interpretations, and I would appreciate each interpretation in a different way. And I would see like, hey, this is my favorite one because of this, or I love this movie because of this interpretation, but I liked them all for certain reasons. And while I've really enjoyed what Hugh Jackman has done as Wolverine, and I think that, hey, he has cemented himself as like, okay, he is the pinnacle. Like this is, if we ever get another Wolverine, another actor to play Logan, absolutely, this is the bar that's set. But I think we need to see a different interpretation. And he's 56, guys. Like, there's only so much that you can do with a character at this point in time. He's had so much story in the last 25 years with when it comes to Jean Grey, when it comes to the Weapon X program, when it comes to him and everything else, him and Deadpool now. There's so much story that he's had that there's not much more to explore with him. I want to go back. I want to get a new actor because I want to re-explore those types of things in a new way. And I want to see a story where, You know what? Logan and Jean Grey end up together for a while, and Scott Summers is the one that's jealous. I want to see a story where Wolverine and Weapon X, we see him more used as Weapon X before he becomes an X. Like I want to see things taken in a different direction, possibly than what we saw here. And we're just not going to get it if we continue down this route with Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. We're not going to get these new and different stories. We're just going to keep these old stories that have just been there for 25 years. And to me, that's unfair. To me, it's like, man, we could explore so much more with this character, but we're being held back because we're sticking with Hugh Jackman, a 56-year-old, for another 10 years. He's going to be 66. If they truly hold him on for 10 years, he'll be 66 when all is said and done. Now, granted, let's say he signed this deal 2 years ago when they were filming Deadpool and Wolverine, so he'll be 64, but still 64 when all is said and done. That is insane. That's 100% insane. I don't want a 64-year-old Wolverine running around my screen with the Avengers, with Deadpool. I'm sorry, I just don't. There's going to come a time when Ryan Reynolds isn't going to be able to play Deadpool anymore, and we're going to need another Deadpool maybe. Like that's fine. Like I understand that. Like do it. Like recast. Now's the perfect time. Like why not? I just don't get it. Like this idea that you have to have the same actor play for 30 freaking years. Like, no, you don't. Like we just went through it. And I know it's a different scenario with Chadwick Boseman, but we had this whole thing with Chadwick where he really cemented Black Panther, T'Challa. And it was like, this is a great character. And then he sadly passed away. And instead of recasting him, they just did away with his character. They killed off his character. And it's like, no, just recast him. The character is what is important. The character, honor his memory by carrying on the character. And the same thing kind of goes in this regard. It's like Hugh Jackman helped solidify Wolverine as one of the most important comic book characters in live action ever. So instead of just beating a dead horse, let's solidify him and keeping him up. Like, hey, he was a great character, but we got to move on. I don't know. To me, this is just wild. I think it is a terrible, terrible idea. Maybe this isn't the popular opinion, but I think it is a terrible, terrible idea. Let me know your thoughts, though, in the comments. I'd love to hear what you have to think.